For over a decade, many of us have been playing Minecraft with the same question in our mind. How did this world come to be? And why are we only arriving when we are? And while we don't have all of the answers, every single day and every single update, more and more things get found out about this game's lore. And today, I'd like to talk about the newest update and how it might confirm one of the game's longest theories: a nuclear apocalypse. With the 1.17 update, Minecraft has introduced a ton of different features, items, and what I'm focusing on today, lore. In fact, Minecraft introduced 2 mobs and 2 items that begin to confirm a long-standing theory of how Minecraft's world came to be. Is the idea going to be crazy? Maybe, but let's take a look at the pieces of evidence to build our case. Number 1. Glow Squids. Glow Squids are one of the newest mobs added to the game and act almost identical to regular squids. The catch? They obviously exude some sort of glowing effect, causing their bodies to appear bioluminescent. Not only do their bodies seem to glow, they also constantly emit star-shaped particle effects in the exact same color tone as their skin. Number 2 are the Axolotl. Axolotl are an insane species here on Earth, but are even crazier in Minecraft. In fact, Axolotl have the ability in real life to regenerate many parts of their body that may be lost in attacks or age. They regrow limbs, eyes, part of their brain. They can even use parts from another Axolotl to regrow themselves. But in Minecraft, Axolotl not only have the ability to regenerate their own health, but can apparently give the player regen and remove mining fatigue when assisting the Axolotl in a fight. Number 3. Copper and Amethyst. Copper is a new ore to the game that allows multiple new blocks and items to be possible, such as lightning rods. What else was added alongside copper? Amethyst crystals. These purple crystalline structures are a huge pop of color to the otherwise bland cave layouts. Number 4. Geiger Counter in the Nether. When entering a basalt delta in the Nether, you'll find what appears to be a form of volcanic rock called basalt, but you'll also hear a faint ticking sound of a Geiger counter, which is a device used to find different amounts of radiation. While this feature was added a year ago during the last update, it's important to keep it in mind to tie all of these together. I think it's healthy for all of us to assume that Minecraft's world has some pretty twisted creatures and structures within it, not natural to our world. But I believe the Minecraft world was once almost exactly like ours, but has slowly been tainted by the creep of radiation and nuclear fallout. I could give you a full reason as to why what I'm about to say is very likely, but I think I'll save it for another video. Until then, let's assume that the Nether is home to all radiation that could affect the overworld. With that in mind, the only way to bring radiation to the overworld would be opening a portal, or multiple portals, and leave them open for the radiation to slowly seep out. Before our time joining the game world, some other builders have been around, obviously leaving strongholds, underwater monuments, and of course, ruined portals. These ruined portals exist almost everywhere, but most notably, underwater portals exist. This is incredibly odd, as anybody who's ever played the game knows how difficult it would be to create and light a portal underwater. When exiting the Nether, another portal won't even generate in the water like this, meaning it was built there on purpose. I'd like to thank today's sponsor, my own Minecraft server, CliqueClassic. CliqueClassic has 2 game modes that you can play right now with your friends called Factions and Skyblock. Factions acts like most faction servers you play on, except for one huge caveat. The center of the world is a massive war zone, and this war zone is filled with mythic mobs that you've probably never seen before. These mobs will attack you with magical powers and abilities and give you a certain drop that you can't get anywhere else in the world, used to redeem things like gen buckets, chunk busters, and more. Skylocked is our Skyblock game mode, where you explore the world with RPG and D&D elements, where the story is your own and everything you do changes the world. You can build your own Skyblock island or spend time in the overworld, eventually fighting mobs, going on quests, and doing so much more. When you get into the game, type /brandominosvideo in the hub in order to receive a free suffix to your name that makes you look way cooler than everybody else. Alright, back to the video. I think it's likely that the group of builders before us knew about the radioactive nature of these portals and were conducting experiments on how it could affect wildlife in all portions of the planet. And there is where we begin to dive in. Glow squid are an apparent radiated mutant version of the usual squid, perhaps an entirely new species now due to the immense radiation in certain regions of the world. If we assume that these underwater nether portals were built for testing, there could be entire parts of the ocean where glow squid originate from. These squids absorb the radiation, causing multiple genetic mutations until evolution found a way to harness that radioactive power, thus creating their glow and particle effects. It may be possible that all squid will eventually turn to glow squid due to the radiation, but that has yet to be seen. Axolotl already exist with superpowers in our world without using any radiation. As I said, these things can completely regenerate their body, and they're already insane at doing it. But the next step from healing your internal body is healing external bodies and being able to soothe ailments in others. If Axolotl were exposed to high amounts of radiation, it would appear that they mutated the power to give external benefits that they can give themselves internally. And Axolotl are not the only mob to do this. They're not even the only water mob to do this. In fact, dolphins can give players a huge speed boost in the water just by being near them and deciding to help them. This seems to be something affecting the entire ocean, where radiation is giving sea life the ability to apply status effects to others that they can give themselves. Copper and Amethyst are connected in a weird way as well, and I think it's strange that they chose to combine these two cave elements for the same update. So I started doing research on how copper is formed and how crystalline structures can bond and what makes these resources work. During my research, I came across a paper published in mid-2016 titled Gamma Radiation Induces Hydrogen Absorption by Copper in Water. It's a mouthful, but just wait. This immediately caught my attention, and so I went diving in. Copper can be found all over the Minecraft world up and down, but it's mostly found underground, while amethyst pockets are only found underground. Now, this is important because this paper shows that that might be the smoking gun connection needed to prove that copper and amethyst are connected. Quote, "Here we show that copper metal immersed in water uptakes considerable amounts of hydrogen when exposed to gamma radiation. Moreover, irradiation of copper in water causes corrosion of the metal and the formation of a variety of surface cavities, nanoparticle deposits, and islands of needle-shaped crystals." And in fact, their microscopic photos show crystal-like shard formations extremely similar to the upright, jagged nature of Minecraft's amethysts. This paper shows that ruined portals built underground very likely seeped radiation across Minecraft's caves. And if we look to the updates coming soon to Minecraft this December, we see these massive cave wells underground, which would be the perfect place for hundreds or thousands of years of radiations to sit and absorb itself into ores like copper. Given years of gamma radiation, copper very likely formed the amethyst structures we see underground today. So at the end of the day, Minecraft's water is 100% tainted with potentially thousands of years worth of gamma radiation that originated from the nether. It gave squids the power to glow, fish the ability to help others, and crystalline structures the chance to form underground. Now here's what I ask you. If radiation is in the water, affecting fish and ores, what is the radiation doing to the overworld, or even the end? Leave me your theories and ideas in the comments below, and you might be featured in the next video. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and follow me on Twitter to be the first to know when new videos are coming out. But as always, when you're ready for another video, you know where to find me. I'll see you then.